Hey there, my name is Alex, I am the Silver Mont, and a while back I made a video for Genshin Impact, specifically about Zhongli, and how weak he was. The developers of the game listened, and they've now increased his strength in the latest patch, along with the overall strength of the GEO element, which underwhelmed before. How's the situation now then? I felt I should do a follow-up, just so I can give them their credit where credit is due if the changes are good. And yes, I would say the changes are good. Would have liked to see some of Zhongli's constellations worked into his base kit, as I'm not a huge fan of constellations making such huge changes to characters. Or at least, I wouldn't mind that so much if they were more consistent with it. Now, of course, some constellations are going to be better than others, but there is a very wide gap between bad constellations and good constellations, which I would like to see lessened. Some characters, the constellations are make or break, like Ningguang, C1, Fish, Child, and so on. Then you have others where it barely changes them, like Keqing, for example. That aside, I think they did a good job with his buffs. They made it so his attacks now scale a little bit with his health, which adds some extra punch and kick to his damage. It also would encourage equipping him with a health stat sand artifact, although attack is still good too. Honestly, I can't make up my mind between attack and health. I will probably end up going with health just because it makes the shield stronger as well, but they also made it so that casting this shield will erect a pillar if the maximum number of pillars hasn't been reached, which is a really nice quality of life change. Finally, they added a defense shred aura to his shield. If you have the shield on, it emits an aura around you that weakens enemy defenses by something like 20%, meaning you'll do more damage to them. And from what I'm understanding, reducing an enemy's defense by 20% is superior to increasing your attack by 20%. Either way, it's great. Before the patch, I was hitting something like 40,000 with my Ecliptic Meteor crits, now I'm able to hit 50,000. On top of that, they improved GEO shields, for some reason that's hard to say, as a whole, making them more effective, along with GEO resonance. Now I honestly believe GEO resonance, that is to say, 2 GEO characters in one group, might be the best one you can have of the resonances. Maybe Pyro's still better, but my current team lineup is Albedo, Xiao, Zhongli, and Jean, as those are the characters I like and have. It's not really super meta, I suppose, as there's no melting or vaporizing, but it's fun for me, and I'd rather play characters I like the gameplay or design of than, meta characters, which is why I skipped Venti and Ganyu. I do kinda like Diluc's design. That aside, however, I think they did a good job. There are a few things I would have personally liked to see on top of this, though. Johnny Lee's kit is still a little bizarre to me. You know how some characters can scale off defense for their damage and so on? I think John Lee's abilities should all be scaling from his health and not his attack. You might argue that it'd pigeonhole him into a more specific role instead of having options, but I would argue his kit's not really designed for multiple roles. Ganyu, for example, I don't have her, but I look at her kit and I immediately think, oh, she could be a support. You can use her ability and then her burst, and then you can swap out to your main DPS. Or she can be a main DPS, depending on how you set her up with artifacts and weapons. Same with Fish. She can be a main DPS or a turret character. You put down Oz and then you swap to someone else. Both very effective with enough constellations, whether you're main DPSing or turreting with Fish. I like that idea, but some characters being very specifically good at one thing is fine too. And I think if all of Zhongli's skills scaled off health entirely, he'd be great. He'd probably be one of the best characters. It would probably be, Venti, Ganyu, Zhongli, and I guess Diluc, or Klee. His Shred Shield is really nice, but also a little baffling as I don't quite understand why being near his shield makes things weaker. Is it just the imposing aura of Morax, the oldest and strongest of gods? Maybe. In that case, I'm fine with it. But with all that out of the way, I'm happy with the state he's in right now. He's my favourite character design, and now he feels worthy of his position as the CEO of GEO. I'd like to see some buffs to other characters now, honestly. Amber, Chi-Chi, and Child all need a bit of attention. for starters, I would say. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're unplayable or anything like that. I'm sure someone's beaten Abyss 12 with nothing but Amber, but some tuning wouldn't hurt. Anyone can be strong if you slam on amazing artifacts with them, but Amber's base kit just feels kind of bad. As for Keqing, she's good at certain things, if you like just spamming charged attack over and over again, but her constellations, they need to be beefed up, I think, to make them more in line with others. Because some 5-star characters, such as Keqing's, their constellations just kind of suck. But what do you think, though? Please do let me know down in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. I will catch you next time, because I have to go and continue farming stuff to level up my Xiao. Goodbye.